Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ikson back with another video. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to finish this brand new Ken Griffey Jr. storyline. Now, this storyline dropped 2 days ago, and people have been, facing issues with it. It does have a little bit of a difficulty to it. There are quite a few missions that people have trouble with, and today I'm just going to try and give you guys the tips that I use to complete these missions. Quick and easy, relatively, maybe like an hour-ish, maybe like an hour and a half to get all of them done. And hopefully you guys can get these done if you haven't already. This card is really solid. No, it's not a signature series, but it's still a pretty solid Ken Griffey Jr. card with okay vision, but pretty solid power. A good fielder. He's just all around solid. He makes some people's lineups, but not a lot of elite lineups. But yeah, he's actually really solid, and it's worth grinding this card out. Not only do you get the card, you actually get 30 program stars in the brand new 4th program as well if you collect him. So there's really no reason not to grind this card. Now let me show you how you do it. The first moment that I think a lot of people have had some trouble with, even though they made it as easy as humanly possible, is hit 2 home runs. Back-to-back homers with Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. Now if you couldn't do the first 2 missions, I'll just give you a quick rundown. Tallying an extra base hit, just square the ball up, it'll go in the gap eventually. That one's just being a good hitter. And then tallying a hit, I think you guys should be able to do that. And yeah, but hitting 2 home runs, let me show you what to do. Now when you guys are doing these missions, if you did take a look at the card, they have 125 vision and 125 power. So they made this as easy as possible. It's on rookie. Now when you have a PCI this big, you don't want to keep it down the middle. You want to move it lower, and you just want to make sure the ball gets elevated. Right there, I think I stayed too high, and that's why it went right down the middle. If you look at the PCI, it was squared up, but we were on top of it. Even though it was a nice hit, in this mission it doesn't matter, and you just have to keep restarting until you get that first home run, obviously. But if you keep experiencing difficulties, you can try to use directional. But yeah, you just want to get underneath the ball and just power swing. Yeah, you can power swing because your PCI is so big that even if you power swing, the size of your PCI will still be gigantic. So that's all you really have to do. Don't chase pitches as I do that right there. But just know what you need to do for this mission. If you need to, use directional. There we go. There's a dinger. We just got one right there with Ken Griffey Jr. But you gotta get both in a row. So yeah, just keep restarting. It's not too bad. If you do have trouble, use directional. Alright, this next one. Some people found this one the hardest for them. Some people didn't. It's a 3-game mission. You gotta get 6 hits, 3 extra base hits, and 4 RBIs. So how do you do this one? The key to this mission and a lot of other multiple game missions is doing really well in the first one. If you do really bad in the first game, like if you only get 1 hit and 1 extra base hit, you're making it really hard for your next couple games. If you don't restart, it's just going to make it harder and harder as you go along. So my tip is make sure the first game is a really good one. And obviously you're using a really good Ken Griffey Jr. card. You just got to make sure you square it up. Just be a good hitter, be patient, because these pitchers do not throw a lot of strikes. They throw a lot of balls. But right there, we get a pitch, it's hung, we go right to the gap. It's all you gotta do in these missions is be patient, because that's huge. These pitchers don't throw a lot of strikes. You can get to 3 balls and it counts a lot. Just be patient, keep getting your pitches, and never give up. These missions are not too bad. Just be positive with yourself and you're gonna do fine. All right, this mission does take some time. Just try to be careful, because you don't want to choke it late, if you have like 1 hit left. You guys can do this. Just once again, if you're having issues, use directional. It does help actually in these missions, because CPUs, when they throw, tend to miss down the middle sometimes. Right there, I'm chasing balls because gotta be patient. Just for the sake of the video, I'm just swinging. But yeah, you want to be patient because these guys don't throw a lot of strikes. I'm gonna skip right down to the last one. Hit 1 home run. This is the dreaded one. People spent 30 minutes on this when it dropped. It was extremely difficult. It used to be a lefty on lefty with 43 power. If you're doing it right now, they updated it to make it easier. It is now lefty on lefty, and you have like 70 power. Now your PCI is bigger than it used to be. If you're doing this right now, what you want to do here is, you're facing a lefty, right? You want to keep your PCI low per usual. You want to power swing, because 70 power still isn't a lot, and you want to try and pull it to the right, because if you see this park, there's a huge, building to the left, and that's going to be harder to lift it over. Try and hit it to right field, alright? It's a much smaller wall. It's a lot easier to get over, pretty much. A lot of this mission is just trial and error. That's what a lot of these are. It's just trial and error, and you just got to keep trying to square things up. The more patient you are, the more you play this like a ranked seasons game, the easier it is. Because if you play it like ranked season and you focus, you're gonna crush the ball. You know, right there we got a pretty solid one, just missed it. And you know, you just gotta keep going at it, guys. Power swing, and once again, if you're having trouble, use directional. It does help. Okay, so those were all of the ones that I saw people having big problems with. The other ones, if you are having trouble with them, tallying a hit and 2 runs batted in here, basically you just gotta hit a dinger, or you gotta go in the gap. Pretty much, it's all it is, because you do have a runner on second, so you need to hit a dinger. For this next mission, you start with a runner on second every single time, so all you gotta do is hit a single, make sure that runner comes in, or maybe it's a double, maybe you can hit a dinger. I don't know. Hitting a dinger will end this mission immediately, if you were wondering, but if you don't want to do that, just get a single and then knock in another batter later. And for the tally 3 hits and a dinger, just try and make your first at-bat a dinger. I don't know what to tell you, man. You just gotta use directional if you need to. You're playing against a righty, so it is slightly easier. It's not too bad, this one. Tally 2 runs batted in. This one's pretty simple, guys. You got runners on first and third. Just knock one in the gap or hit a dinger. You are using Edgar Martinez in this one. I want to point that out. So it is not Griffey for that mission. If you don't like using Edgar, it's going to be a little bit tougher. And yeah, guys, that's about all the tips I have for you. Some of them were kind of repeated, but the main point is when you're doing these storylines, just play it like a ranked seasons game. Play as hard as you can. Focus in, you know, really get yourself focused. It's going to be quicker and it's going to be a lot simpler. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys got that mission done, and hopefully you are enjoying that Ken Griffey card if you do want to use them, or if you just wanted them for your collection or for program stars. For whatever reason, hopefully you were able to get them if you wanted them. And yeah, that's it for today's video. See you guys later. Peace.